Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more of comics. And right now, today, we're going to be talking about Powers of 10, number 4, by Jonathan Hickman. And yeah, again, like, these issues are selling out like crazy. I'm not even messing around anymore. I'm getting the variants like as quickly as I can so I don't have to spend. But this one, I love this just because I love Rogue. I'm not the biggest Land fan, but he is good at profiles and stuff like that. And I love Rogue. The next one's Gambit. I'm fucking buying that one. So there's the Land variant. I liked the Nimrod character one, new character Nimrod. They have like the next one for the new character I think is her, right? But it's like, well, I've already got her on this one, and Nimrod's just a great design. So you got that variant, and I got the connecting variant. So like last week it was this half, this week it was that half. I couldn't get my hands on this. I had to pay like $20 to have it on eBay to get this one because it was just. There was nowhere you could get it for cheaper than that. And then the last one, I love Scotty Young, and I especially love this one. And this is important because Mr. Sinister has a part in this. And let's just jump in to this issue because it's again fantastically drawn, fantastically written, and since Powers of 10 is dealing with a lot of the year 100 stuff or 1000 or whatever it is, the future story with the Nimrod and the Phalanx. And like more of the like inner workings of the man-machine, mutant machine war that's going on. And what I really like about this one is my favorite, is the Mr. Sinister stuff. Now, some people that have reviewed this, again, just like I love the reds and everything in here. They were talking about the Mr. Sinister part. And how it's like the humor is not really there, it's not really landing for a lot of the stuff. And like the whole kind of tone of the Mr. Sinister stuff. Now, Mr. Sinister, depending on who's writing it, right, has been characterized as different things. But this, to me, tracks with the Hickman Mr. Sinister, this one who's kind of very flamboyant and theatrical. A very, the first thing I thought of, like, when I see all the people in his, like, presence and everything, it was like Jabba the Hutt. Like this guy sitting there with everybody else, like a whole bunch of himself and other things kind of, like, paying attention to him. And I have it just to show that this was kind of tracking with Hickman's, like, kind of shared universe or his shared storylines. That I was like, I know I've seen this version of Sinister before. And it was in Secret Wars. Like, look at how he's sitting on the throne, his throne there. Like, very much like how I used to drive. I literally used to drive with my one leg up. Like, my left leg up. Because kind of sitting, not safe. But, anyway. There's this kind of, like, that same look to Sinister is here. Whoops. Gotta learn the perspective, Rob. So, the same look, god damn it. It's, like I said, the analog sticks problem. And he's written very flamboyantly. Yet, and this is that Hickman take on it. Where, I mean, even, like I said, the art looks really similar. And the character is very similar to this Sinister in Hickman's book. So I feel like it does track for him to be kind of the way he is in this. But the best part of this, right? So Magneto and Xavier go there to make this deal, which, okay, already, like with the whole Moira McTaggart storyline, makes you change the way you look at so many things from the past. Getting his notes off the floor. And here is just another thing, like, that makes you rethink everything that's happened before, which is that everybody knows the Sinister's into mutant DNA, right? And cataloging, Jesus, everything. But what we didn't know was way back in the day, Charles and Eric sought him out and said, stop cataloging humans. We want you to catalog mutants. And we'll give you, like, access to DNA that you would normally never get. That would be, or it would be a real problem for you to get. And we'll even give you ours. This changes everything because, and then they say you are going to forget. So Charles erases it from his mind. So he puts the idea in his head. He fucking does an Inception without making it him. Well, he'll think it's his idea, right? So Charles forces like an Inception type of situation where he gives them the idea, then takes away the memory of it, of where he got it. That it adds a new layer. And look, after all these years, they wanted to do something different, right? They wanted to do something new. They wanted to make you look at things differently. And this does it. Because it totally changes what Sinister's been doing all this time. And why is he still just kind of around? Why didn't Xavier or Magneto or somebody else take out this major threat to mutants? Because Sinister's been like one of the most hardcore villains in the X-Men universe. Every time he shows up, I'm like, oh, fuck. Because there's never seems to be a way to stop him, right? Well, maybe there's a reason they didn't stop him. The end game, or whatever Charles and Eric have planned. Now, other people have talked about the pods, and I'm going to give them credit to that. I think it was Critical Thinking, or Thinking Critical. His comic reviews talked about that. That could this whole thing be a bunch of clones? Could a bunch of the X-Men be clones? Could there be a clone army of X-Men characters and mutants in general? The people that have been dying in House of X, who are they? Are they clones? Are they, like different versions of all sorts of stuff? Like, because why did Marvel Girl look like Marvel Girl instead of Jean Grey Present? Why did Scott look like different? Why does, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of things beg more questions here, but questions that are very interesting. And again, like I said, it changes the whole Sinister storyline and his obsession with mutant kind. Second is the Red Diamond. All the best news and gossip from Bar Sinister. Now, other people have been putting these up already. And, like, Sinister Secret number 1. I think that's just kind of that he wasn't wearing red shoes, but this truly Sinister isn't fooling anyone. I think it's describing a version of Mr. Sinister. Sinister Secret number 2. Cut down in his prime mutant. I don't know which one they're talking about. Somebody said it was Cyclops. Sinister Secret number 3, though, the red-headed pretender. Now, some people said that they're talking about Wanda Maximoff, that they're talking about Scarlet Witch. But I think they're talking about Red-Headed Pretender, okay? I don't remember Scarlet Witch having red hair, right? She had black hair, red outfit. Red-Headed Pretender is Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey, made by Sinister, right? And so, or however that played out, I can't quite remember Madeline Pryor's. I thought she was a clone of Jean from I don't know, but that's who I think that's talking about. Sinister Secret number 4. Almost no one. What's sure? A word of advice to all you: don't embrace the revelry. There won't be anything to celebrate. I don't know about that one either. But figuring in number 5, the Sinister Secrets revealed. You find out that John Proudstar, Thunderbird, the brother of Warpath, he died in that classic issue of like Giant Size X-Men, number 1 or something like that, or whatever it was when they introduced the new team and they had their first mission. Thunderbird died, and the mutant gene that Sinister got was his. Okay, so that's bringing back. Now, please just don't tell me we're going to bring back Thunderbird. Some deaths need to stay deaths, or otherwise it doesn't mean anything ever. And we're pretty much at that point already, because I'm surprised they didn't bring him back. I really am, because it's just, as some sort of ploy or I don't know. Sinister Secret number 5 has got to do with Logan. Sinister Secret number 6. Everyone believed that his plan of Perginian mutant secret Sinister ties as well, but little did the gifted ones know that the story was stretched out beforehand. Oh gosh, I can't remember what that one is either. But then we got Sinister Secret number 7 that alludes to possibly having another Summers brother, which I don't know. That seems kind of. I don't know if we really need that. Another brother? No. Um, and you got the next one about Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen. Sinister Secret number 9. Again, I think that's talking about, they say the kids are all right, but all is not right in paradise. This non-couple have been apart for so long. Friends are expecting that when they see each other again, fireworks are going to assume. I think that's Kitty Pryde and Colossus. Um, I don't think it's Rogue and Gambit, because they are together. Um, and then they bring up, we don't hear this word spoken often, so when we do, it's best to pay attention, because when you square that circle, what took a long time to build can come crumbling down rather quickly. Inferno. We could be seeing a return of something. Hopefully not like Inferno 2, but... and then Sinister Secret number 10 is which brainwashed mutant Sinister was replaced long before a certain bald somebody knew and has been in one and on the game for almost as long as the game was being played. Shh. So who could that be? Would that say that one of the original X-Men is some sort of spy? Now, if it had to be one of the original X-Men, I'd say it would be Angel. Possibly Beast. But I'm thinking if they give me what I really want, I would want it to be Storm. I would want it to be Storm. Because Storm's so good and everything that I would love to see it be that she was a spy. Because remember, Charles picked her up when she was a kid, right? So that was when the game was beginning. Or saw her when she was a kid. I don't know. The other one, I could say is maybe Nightcrawler being bad, which would really fuck with people because of how Christian he is and everything. But going forward, then we got the whole storyline where Douglas, who's mixed with like the Phalanx, like with Warlock, gets taken by Charles to Krakoa, which is really cool. I love the tree thing. There is a Scotty Young cover that kind of looks like this coming out next week. Can't wait to get that. And it's describing the creation of the language that they were going to use, that they needed to develop to make it Krakoa what it becomes. And then in this we get that story about how Krakoa was like once two, and out of this came Apocalypse, who like frickin' squashed, the first part of him, and now Krakoa has never been whole. There's Arakko and Krakoa. And so it's like one part of two that's never been brought together. So could we be seeing a return of that? That'd be very interesting. And then Charles showing Douglas Ramsey like the future and showing him what it's going to take and leaving him there to develop this language, develop this big link for all mutants in Krakoa. It's really, really cool. I did like... Then we got the whole Krakoan systems here that talk about like Sage has a part, Black Tom Cassidy, Trinary, and Beast all have their systems, like secondary external systems to Trinary, Overwatch, data analysis to Beast, defense observation, Black Tom, and transit monitoring Sage. A translation program so that other mutants can interact with the island without needing Cypher to go as a go-between. So that's basically what he was creating, was this big place. And then we get to this Phalanx part that I agree with Thinking Critical. I'm kind of confused about this. I really am. I always thought that the Phalanx stories were cool, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. I've tried to read it a couple of times and I'm still kind of going, it's all about preventing Nimrod, but Nimrod is there, sort of, and I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting going forward, but this last bit kind of confused me, and it didn't like ruin the book or anything. It's a fantastic book. I'd say it's like a 4.5 out of 5, but it's really phenomenal. Again, it's not as like action-wise awesome and like heartbreaking as House of X number 4, but Powers of 10 number 4 gives us some cool information like the Sinister stuff and all the secrets, and that's a lot of fucking foreshadowing going on in that tantalize us with a lot of really interesting things to come. Once I get a better grasp on the Phalanx stuff, hopefully that'll be cool to see play out. And yeah, the whole thing with Krakoa and it being one of two islands, seeing maybe what's going to come out of that. That's going to be really cool. And then just the whole deal with Sinister itself. Like, how is that going to affect things going forward? Is this going to bite us in the butt, as I think Thinking Critical had said? So yeah, you can't trust Sinister, man. And I don't know, like, what if he found out what they were doing anyway? Like, what if he never forgot? What if he just decided to go along with this? There's so many different ways to play this, and so that's Powers of 10, number 4. It's fantastic. If you can, go out and read it. Buy it. Buy as many as you can. I don't know. Buy as many as you feel like you need to. I feel for some reason need to buy them all. But I think I've just got a compulsion. So anyway, this is Robert Smirking Interview saying if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Otherwise, we'll be back with House of X number 5 next week. So see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.